It's in this dry, dusty and desolate part of the Northern Cape province that a group of white South Africans say they've found refuge. They call this place Eureka. Only white, Afrikaans-speaking people are allowed to settle here, but they say they're not racists. Ockert Swanepoel and his family moved here 3 months ago. He says to protect and preserve the Afrikaner culture, language and way of life.
We were all building on a dream, and but I think progressively it got worse and it got more difficult. And with affirmative action, it made it increasingly difficult for us as white people to get jobs, to secure jobs, and also job security. You were never sure when you might be retrenched.
We've not been given permission to film in Eureka. Instead, we speak to the founder, Adrian Nieuwoud, at his home nearby.
Die skoen is aan die ander voet. Ons veg teen die rasisme teen ons.
The shoe is now on the other foot, and now we are fighting against the racists. How can we be racist when it is us who are being forced out of the country? They sing against us, kill the farmer, so everything counts against the white race. So who are the racists?
So wie is nou die rasis in hierdie verhaal?
So far, 20 families live here and more homes are being built. The local government went to court to stop people here from building any more houses. The municipality says these homes were built without permission and contravene building regulations. The court agreed. But judges are also considering whether or not a town that allows only white Afrikaner people to live there should be allowed to exist in a democratic South Africa. One of the smaller and newly formed political parties, Black First, Land First, has banned white South Africans from joining it.
We are a blacks-only organization. Let that be clear. We will not accept white people.
The party's sentiments resonate with some in a country many consider to be one of the most unequal in the world. It's been accused of exercising discrimination and taken to court.
The law of this country is anti-black. The whole economic system is anti-black. The media projection of black problems is anti-black. We are going to that parliament, therefore, to represent the real voice of our people, to bring a pro-black democracy in a black country.
While the apartheid system and its policies based on race may have been abolished 25 years ago, many here say they have to live with its legacy. And come election day, the vote of many South Africans will be influenced by race and identity. Famida Miller, Al Jazeera, South Africa.
All right, Shalom. First, let's start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is a prophecy update. The Edomites that live in South Africa are being persecuted by them South Africans, you know, as you can very much well see. And that's prophecy, because Esau in general, Esau not, because you know how the elites got it set up to where, oh, those are the French, oh, those are the Germans, or the Russians. No, all y'all Edomites. The whole world getting rid of hate you white people in general. It's like, yeah, the whole world hate these white people, and the Lord just got it to where slowly but surely it's coming out in the media and stuff. So this is a Bible prophecy. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch and see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, the prophecies, and make it plain upon table, that he may run that readeth it, right? And the prophets ran once they read the prophecies. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, right? We're coming towards the end of the world, the end of Esau's kingdom. So the whole world is rising up against him. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Right, and as you can see, it's happening. You know, the whole world turned against these Edomite devils, and this is just a news clipping on what's going on in South Africa. And I guarantee you, a lot of them are Israelites. But this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Right, nation against nation is talking about race wars. These nations going back to their own nations and coming up against each other. Race riots, racial tensions, and kingdom against kingdom. And we see that's going on also. The U.S. and Israel versus a lot of the other kingdoms or nations of the world, Russia, China, Iran. Ultimately, that's going to start World War III, which is a future prophecy. It's coming. And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So the race wars are happening around the world. They're just not putting it in the news as much, but it's gonna come out. It's all Bible prophecy. The second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, meaning destruction. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right, so that's talking about race wars. This is an example of racial tensions that's going on in South Africa, and a lot of it has been deaths and fightings going on. You just have to watch more documentaries, or news clippings. Yeah, I'm gonna get to this next clip.
A trail of destruction along India's eastern coast. With winds around 200 kilometers per hour, Cyclone Foni ripped apart homes in Odisha state, toppled power lines, and left uprooted trees covering the streets.
I was really afraid when the storm hit us. We were lucky that we were all downstairs. If my children were upstairs, they wouldn't have survived. All our belongings, our money, everything's gone.
The storm has weakened since making landfall on Friday. The extent of the flooding in the city of Puri is clear to see, with damaged crops and infrastructure. India's Navy, Air Force, and disaster response teams are on standby.
Our teams go to each and every site we get reports from. We've been working since morning. Our teams have been out there since the cyclone calmed down.
Despite the destruction and the number of people killed, the Indian government says the situation in Odisha could have been worse. About 1 million people were evacuated. Airports and schools were closed before the storm hit. A different outcome from 1999, when a super cyclone killed more than 10,000 people across the state. Now emergency crews are trying to clear wreckage, but many roads are blocked and some communities completely cut off. The coast of Odisha state is vulnerable to cyclones and tsunamis. Over the years, embankments and shelters were built, but for now the focus is on how to recover from this storm. Barbara Engopa, Al Jazeera.
As God of the ocean, I get all kinds of...
Right, so there's more prophecies. More prophecies coming to pass. That's the East Indians. I'm not mistaken. That's Elam. The Lord persecuting these nations, man. All these nations had something to do with the position that we are in now, today, in America, or wherever we are scattered. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise and storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Right, so storm and tempest brought them cyclones. This Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Right, so they're dying because there was a spirit created to kill them off. The angels are controlling the weather warfare that's going on over there, whether Esau's sending it or not. A lot of people don't have food and they're dying, you know, or medicine and they're dying, you know, from this cyclone. Yeah, I'm gonna just end it with that. With that being said, all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.